Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk to you about the Baker Act and why your loved one is being transferred from perhaps a hospital emergency room or even an ICU to another facility that may or may not be in the same county that you're located or your loved one is located. So we get this call quite a bit. And so what happens is somebody went to a hospital emergency room, perhaps they were taken there by EMTs, perhaps they walked in through the front door, whatever it happens to be, they're at a hospital emergency room, and for whatever reason, a doctor there decided to initiate a Baker Act. Now, a couple of things to know about this. Number one, until your loved one has been medically cleared and they are either in a behavioral health unit or a behavioral health facility, the 72-hour clock for involuntary detention does not start until they get there. And remember, let's not forget, there's two types of Baker Act here in Florida, involuntary and voluntary. Only one of them has a 72-hour hold. The other one has an indefinite hold. And you may not even know that you're being held on a voluntary basis. But let's say that you're involuntary, which means the 72-hour clock ticks or starts to tick once you get to the receiving facility. Well, why are you being transferred? Why aren't you being allowed to stay at the same hospital? Well, first of all, some hospitals, for instance, like, at least one of the hospitals here in Boca where I reside, does not have a behavioral health unit. They don't have a Baker Act unit in the hospital. And so what they do is they transfer the person, they put them in an ambulance, and they transfer them. They transfer them across county lines to a licensed Baker Act receiving facility in Broward County, because that's where the person needs to be held. That's where the assessment and the stabilization all gets done. And it's possible that you could be in a hospital emergency room for a couple of days, they medically clear you, you get sent down to another facility, a Baker Act receiving facility, and then the 72-hour clock starts to tick if you're involuntary. So think about that. Maybe you spent 2-3 days in an emergency room, and then you were sent out. And now there's another potentially 3 days being held. So you can see how this thing could really start to grow in time, especially if you are being held illegally. And of course, nobody knows you're there, and you can't sue them for any of this stuff, so they don't care. And if you have health insurance, well, good luck. And so, yeah, it's very possible that the hospital either doesn't have a behavioral health unit, or maybe they do and it's full, and you get sent potentially across county lines. I've seen people sent 200 miles away because the hospital, for whatever reason, couldn't find a bed for them, sort of locally. And, obviously that caused all kinds of problems for the family. I mean, bad enough their loved one's been illegally detained. Bad enough they can't find out what's going on and no one's talking to them either at the hospital or at the Baker Act facility. But now they are, 3 hours away. I mean, this is the craziness. And this is why I tell you, and I think in just about every Baker Act video I've ever put out, that the time to fight is right now. The minute you get detained, you need to fight to get out. Because otherwise, you are going to potentially fall into a big black hole. And sometimes, and I've seen it happen, the person gets Baker Acted, they get transferred, and nobody will tell the family where they are, and then we can't find the person. And if I don't know where they are, I can't file anything. I can't help you. So don't wait. Don't wait for your loved one, or if it's you, to simply vanish. Okay, we want to fight as soon as we possibly can and find out, that somebody has been detained. But yeah, these hospitals, they can send you. They can keep you in their own behavioral health unit, or they can send you a long, long way away. And I've seen it happen. So anyway, that's the nuts and bolts of being transferred. I hope that helps. I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to the channel, I'd be grateful. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.